So what is going on, guys, and today it is a video on squad battles on FIFA 21. Yes, that's right, a video on squad battles. I know what you're thinking, it's shit and blah blah blah, I know. Right, anyway, getting into it straight away. Yeah, so by the title you can tell that, you know, I actually enjoy squad battles sometimes. Like, yes, I know it's far from perfect. I mean, we can all, you know, agree that it's, you know, again, it's part of the whole game, isn't it, really? The whole game overall is far from perfect. It really is. I mean, gameplay-wise, it's poor and all that shit. But, yeah, so before I carry on, in the background, the gameplay is basically, you know, me doing objectives for icon swaps. So I had to use a full team of Champions League, you know, common or rare items. So on the team right now, you can see the team that I used. It's got Muriel, it's got Origi, it's got Kai Havertz, Diogo Jota, Luke Shaw, and many other cheap players that you can get as well for, I think the team overall probably will cost around, what, 40k, 45k at most. So if you want to get that done, this team is actually pretty decent to use, really. I mean, it's actually pretty fun to use as well. I mean, you can change formation as well and all that, but yeah, anyway. So first of all, I think that the best part about squad battles is that, you know, if you compare the gameplay of for champions and urgent rivals to squad battles, in both those modes, you can definitely see that everyone uses the same players and uses the same kind of tactics and style, so all the games feel the same. You know what I mean? Like, in squad battles, you face different teams, you face different tactics, you face different players as well on top of that. I mean, in you know, for champions and all that, everyone uses, like, you know, the same back four of Varane, Joe Gomez, Kyle Walker, Firmamendi, and, you know, Ter Stegen and all that. So everyone uses the same style, and, you know, either if it's one left drop back or whatever, doesn't matter really, because, you know, overall everyone uses the same shit and it's just boring. It really is boring. But in squad battles, you get different, you know, kinds of games and different players and all that stuff. Like, some teams will have, you know, a bit less chemistry, some teams will have a bit less rating, some teams will just have, you know, ridiculous players, some teams will just be quite balanced, really. So, you know, you have to adjust that way. But in, you know, for champions and rivals, it's the same shit every game, and that's why it's boring and really, really repetitive. So yeah, so as I said before, you know, it's not always the same teams. So, you know, with you know, for champions and individual rivals, you always face the same back four, probably the same midfield at times as well. You know, a lot of icons as well they've earned from packs that they always buy from FIFA points. Yeah, that's right. People are still doing that. Stop buying FIFA points. You're making it worse for us as players, right? And making it probably even better for EA Sports. If you want that, go ahead. But that means Ultimate Team will never fucking change, so stop that. But also with those squad battles, you can expect a change of pace, really, in games. Like, you know, for champions and division rivals, it's more like a grind. You have to, you know, try and slog your way through it and all that shit. But in squad battles, you can, well, somewhat relax in some ways and still earn rewards through it. Like, you still get rewards every week on a Monday. You you know, can try and compete for rewards that are in the top 200 and all that stuff. So you're not really missing out, really. But the downside is that the rewards in squad battles are nowhere near as good as rivals and FUT champs, which I don't understand that. I don't, because it's still competitive in some ways, but it's, you know, it's not against other people. But I think that's probably the reason why they always say, isn't it? You know, you're not against other players, means, you know, it's not as tough. No, you can play on the highest difficulty in the game with competitive mode on, which means that you're almost exactly playing, almost exactly like you're playing against other players. So it makes it really hard for you. I don't understand that. I really don't. Really, it should be, you know, somewhat similar rewards. It's not even close. For example, if you get into Elite 3, you get about 11,000 coins and 3 packs, which usually, one pack is like a prime mixed players pack, and the other 2 is like a 26 item jumbo rare gold pack. But in rivals, if you get to, you know, Elite 3, you probably get about, what, 40k and a mega pack and maybe a all players pack if you're lucky as well. So I don't understand why it's such a huge difference in terms of these game modes when they're almost the same thing. But the only difference is that in squad battles you're against AI, but in rivals you're against other players. I don't understand that at all. I know for a fact that, you know, the gameplay is not great in FIFA at the moment. You know, it's slow. It's it's really unresponsive, and I mean it has been now for years anyway, even before this FIFA. But at least in squad battles you can somewhat relax about things a bit more. You know, like I said before, you'll probably rage a bit less. But if you have patience to play against the AI, you will have a decent time at least. So you can probably expect that as well. Last but not least, I think maybe even the best part as well, really, but all these points that I've made, is that you can use different players in squad battles. For example, for champions, you're probably almost forced to use the same players over and over again because you need to stay competitive. You need to stay up to speed with the players and how fast the game can be. But in squad battles, you don't really. You can use any player and any team, and you'll do somewhat alright as long as you're a good player. So, again, it takes all that pressure off your shoulders and actually puts you in a position where you feel like you can achieve as long as you play well and as long as you stay focused. That's the most important thing. You can use different players, like I said before. This team has pretty much got no overpowered players apart from maybe Muriel and Havertz. Everyone else is just cheap players that you can get off the market for about 2,000 coins. It's a simple team and it works. In fact, you can tell by the gameplay, I'm doing well. I'm doing all right, even against really good teams with good chemistry. I'm doing well on high difficulties because I'm focusing. I'm playing well. You know what I mean? I'm not a good player. I'm not a good player by any means. I'm not. Even after I've been playing FIFA for years, I'm not a good player at FIFA. I'm not. But I try my best, and I focus as much as I can, and I do well. And I do well on occasions. So that's why. That's what it's about. Just being focused, really. On FUT Champs, it's about sweat and luck and how much you spend on packs. That's all it is. That's why I stay well away from it these days. I stay well away I haven't played FUT Champs this year in FIFA since probably October. Since then I've just got off it. I've not bothered with it at all. It's just shit. But anyway, this is the end of the video, and if you enjoyed, leave a like and comment down below what you think about squad battles. If you've played it, if you don't like it, if you like it, it doesn't really matter really. Let me know in the comments down below, and we'll get chatting. So yeah, thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell for videos in the future so you never miss one. And I'll see you in the next video. So on that note, adios.